By the way, I forgot to tell you this last time. I had one show in South Carolina, 6 o'clock early show, bro. Silence. Like I ain't have a show like this in a while. Like I went out there and they just didn't like me.
Was this before or after the election?
It was before. It was the week before. So I
damn.
couldn't even blame it on the country.
Yeah.
I had to really just like
You just ate it?
bro. Just ate it.
Oh,
like, full hour. Like I got some chuckles here and there.
Damn.
But it was struggle. It was. I mean, if I could use a couple words to describe them, I would probably say they was like old and not with it. That was like their general thing.
Was whoa.
Yeah, they were just sitting there like respectful and not laughing. Like they ain't yell, they ain't heckle.
They didn't throw a buffet.
They ain't ask for their money back. They was just like, we made the wrong choice.
At 6 p.m. though.
But that's the problem. Comedy's not meant to happen that early.
No,
and this was before daylight saving.
Yeah, so it was still sunshine.
Yeah,
outside.
so people come in at 6 and it's still sunny out, and that's not conducive to laugh. Laughing is nighttime. It's nighttime. Gritty.
It's definitely like I've never seen a comedy brunch, you know?
Yeah, I have, and they're fun. But that's in New York. In New York, you could do anything.
Yeah, brunch is all hours.
Yeah, not over. The Comedy Cellar has a brunch show, and it's great. It's one of the best shows. Yeah, it's at 1 p.m. on a Sunday, but it's a basement. It's packed out. It's dark. You can't tell that the sun is out. And this one, the windows and the sun was still out.
No.
Bro, I was just looking at them because obviously this happens to everyone, but I was just like, damn, this hasn't happened to me in a little while. And it gives you perspective. Like I got off the stage and it was like, I battled it out. So it was like, at the very most, it was like, okay, decent at the very most. And I got off stage and I went in the green room. And for some reason, people like to walk out. They had to walk past the green room. And then people were walking in the green room like as they were walking out. And I was just sitting there in silence. And I think they was trying to like be nice. And they were like, hey, that was great, man. And I was like, no, it wasn't. No,
it wasn't.
That was not great.
Damn, at least they gave you that pep talk, right?
But the pep talk sometimes messes with you because you be sitting there like, was it great or am I bugging? But you're not bugging. You suck.
They're giving you the participation trophy?
Yeah.
Damn,
you try to convince yourself like, nah, I was okay. You wasn't okay.
This was bad.
Yeah.
This was bad. Yeah. But the thing is too is like, was it a new set? Was it like what? Like
it was the hits.
What, it was the hits? You put the greatest hits out and it didn't touch?
It was the special I'm about to take.
Oh, yeah, we're still in the first couple of seconds. Damn.
Yeah, it's the special I'm about to say. There's no excuse. See, I'm not an excuse guy.
No, like, you don't believe in excuses.
No, it was
just bad. So what was
the sound was good.
The delivery, the timing, like you weren't feeling it. Like,
well, it's comedy. They just didn't like me. Like they didn't get it. Like I wasn't. First of all, they was a little older.
Yeah,
they was like older.
Yeah.
They just didn't like me. Which, you know, it's fine.
But like in that situation, do you have like a like the left-hander? Can you go to the bullpen? Can you like flip it mid-set or like you just power through it?
No, I'm like the guys playing the violin on the Titanic.
You're going down with the ship.
Yeah,
like,
that's me. Like as the boat sinks.
I'm the king of the world.
And everybody's like, we're dying. Yeah. That's me.
Nah, respect.
Because what am I gonna do? Like at this point, because obviously there's tricks comics do, right? Like when things ain't going bad, if they don't like your material, you always go into crowd work. Hey, what are you doing? Whatever. But I'm not doing that for what? Like my thing is like I'm gonna try to get them with the jokes. I'm gonna try to bring them back with the jokes.
I think, and that's probably like one of the main differences between like being a stand-up comedian and being a DJ, because they have parallels. But like as a DJ, like of course there's the times when you bomb and you don't hit. But like for the most part, like I'm trying to steer them back. I'm going to the tricks. I'm like, nah, you're not paying me all this money, all this time to like, I got to try something, you know?
Right, but I'm like, the way I see it is like, I'm doing my show. Like I'm not one of these guys I'm not one of these comics that go on stage and they're like, oh, you know, what you guys want to talk about? Like, I have a show, I have an act and I'm doing it. Yeah. And that's what you pay me to do. Yeah. So if the audience don't like it, you know, I don't know what to tell them.
Damn.
Son. I don't know what to tell them. But it's comedy. This happens. Some people think that, like, some people are so scared of it and they think that it's so crazy because they don't imagine what it feels like to, like, be on stage in silence. But it's like, it's not good, but you kind of learn to, once you don't get a laugh for a couple minutes, you kind of forget that you're in comedy zone. So you kind of just like, I'm just talking now.
Yeah.
Like now, this is just a TED Talk. Mm-hmm. So like we haven't had a laugh in 15 minutes. So
this is not a comedy show anymore.
This is just what it is, right? So you convince yourself that you're just giving a speech.
Yeah.
You know?
And as a comedy nerd, I've heard so many like the highest level comedians say that you don't reach a certain level in comedy until you can stand there and just bask in the silence and the awkwardness of people looking at you. And that's when you know, like, okay, like you've reached the threshold where you're not scared of it. You actually embrace it. Like, did you feel like you embraced it?
I mean, I did the show. I just did what my show was. I don't feel like it made me better. I can tell you that. I didn't get off the stage like I'm a better comic now. I got off the stage like I need to quit.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I wanted to go get some food. So I waited for everyone to leave because I didn't want to see people. And then I went to get some sushi like up the block. And then I walk into the sushi store and people were like, hey, we were at your show. And I'm like, oh boy.
Oh man.
But in my defense, it's just a thing of like, they just weren't my people.
Yeah.
Because then we did 4 shows that weekend. The other 3 were great.
Yeah.
That's the duality of comedy. Like I had that show happen to me 10 days ago. And on Thursday in Houston, I got a standing ovation. So you kind of just learn to never get too high, never get too low.
I think you just might have cracked your thesis or something. The duality of comedy. That might have to be like the name of your book or like another special. Yeah. We're on fire. Make sure, can we mark that one?
Well, there's the thing that I think it's a saying, the duality of life, which is like nothing is as bad, nothing is as good. It's like the yin and yang. Yeah. Everything all good has a little bad and all bad has a little good.
Yeah.
Which that's the case. But when you're going through it, it feels tough.
All bad.
And also, I will say this, as comedians, there's certain places, certain clubs, and certain markets in the country that are notoriously known for being bad.
Okay.
Who every comic, like if you're going there, they'll be like, ooh, it's gonna be a rough one.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Even your favorite comic. Yeah, Miami's one of those markets that like when you're playing Miami, all the comics warn you it's gonna be bad. But I did Miami last year in December and it was great. But it was one of the best shows.
What about Miami? Like, what is it?
Miami's just not a city it's just not a funny city. It's like a funny of hot people and cocaine and partying, which is not
That's not funny.
That's not like conducive to good comedy.
Laughter.
Generally, like funny is like cold, like gritty, like nothing to do. Like that makes people laugh. But if like in Miami, you're doing a show and people in the audience are like, man, you know how many girls are probably wearing thongs in South Beach right now? It's hard for you to keep their attention.
There's no concentration.
Right. Yeah, so you lose them. But I did it, like I said, I did it last year and it was great. I had an amazing time. So it's just a thing of like, comedy is just music, right? You can't put a classical music fan at a Wu-Tang concert and expect for them to enjoy it.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, you could find 1 or 2.
Wu-Tang is for the kids.
But if you're not gonna have a room of 500 people,
no, you're not.
And it's gonna be like a Wu-Tang concert, you know.
Shout out to the RZA, the Jizza,
or anybody, same vice versa. You can't put a Wu-Tang fan who isn't a classical music fan at an opera and think they're gonna be like, oh, this is dope.
Playing Bach's greatest hits and Chopin. Nah, they're not. You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's what it is with comedy. So you gotta learn to take your losses. And it's nice because sometimes I tell people about it and they can't believe it. Like they think that is just like always goes good. And I'm like, no, like the same jokes won't work. Like some people don't get them. Also, that's one thing too. Like for comedy to work, especially my style of comedy, you have to know things. Like you
have to be smart.
Yeah, not smart. You just gotta know stuff.
Okay.
Like, just stuff.
Yeah.
Like not even like, you don't gotta be well studied. Like you just gotta know stuff. Like know stuff about what's going on. Like, like in society, I would say.
I think, you know what, that you bring up a good point where especially in some of the parties now, I'm seeing with the younger generation, they don't know music.
Right. And if you don't know music, like how do you know? Like I could play the biggest hit, but if you don't know music, to you it means nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
I'm dead trash.
Right. Like to these young, what is it? Gen Z? Those are the young ones.
The Z and Alpha.
Yeah. To these Alpha is out already.
Alpha's next. They're out.
Beta's
already? Up next. Yeah. It's alpha time.
The betas, I feel bad. That's a bad.
I know.
That's a bad.
I know.
I feel like the beta generation, they're gonna be extremely overcompensated to try to be like, what? We're not betas. We're men.
Absolutely, 1000%.
Yeah, for Gen Z, like if you play a hit, some like for Gen Z, if you play like Juvenile's "Back That Ass Up," which is I mean, that's classical music right there.
Almost up
like
there
Beethoven.
with like the national anthem, honestly.
Yeah, that's like playing one of Beethoven's greatest hits.
Without
if you play
question.
"Back That Ass Up," but they don't know what "Back That Ass Up" is.
Nope.
You might seem like you don't know what you're doing, but it's like they don't know music.
They don't.
Same thing with comedy. You could do a joke where you're like, that was. Anybody who would know stuff would think that's funny, but you don't know.
You don't know things,
so you don't find it funny. Which I'm not sure that was the problem I had in South Carolina, but that's a problem I have sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes you gotta dumb it down or simplify it.
You know what? I feel for people to know things, they have to listen to the Adulthood podcast.
Yeah, I feel like this is a great like. I don't think you need to watch the news or study.
No,
I think you could listen to this. And have a pretty good grasp on what's going on in society.
Between this and ChatGPT, like we got you covered.
You know, I've never used ChatGPT.
No?
No, I don't know what it does. I don't know what it is. I don't know where you find it. I don't know what you say to it.
It does stuff.
I don't know.
Yo, I have a question about about what happened with you. I was thinking about this. I was in the Comedy Cellar and I was watching somebody perform, and they were kind of. I don't know. I don't know if I should consider it bombing, but like they were saying their jokes and like people were laughing. It seemed like to me people were laughing, but maybe to him, like who was performing, it didn't seem like people were laughing as much. So he started calling out the audience.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that? Like,
that's a trick comics do.
Oh, so they're doing it on purpose to like try to get people to laugh? Or
yeah, like sometimes, like, you know, like you say a joke and people don't laugh and they'll be like, oh, you guys didn't find that funny. And then that becomes, they get a laugh out of that because you're pointing it out.
But are they doing it to like, because they don't think people are laughing enough? Like,
I'm sorry, say that again.
So they are doing it because people aren't laughing enough, or are they trying to make people laugh even more?
No, they're trying to. They're drowning and they're reaching for a life.
So they really do think
they're flailing. They're reaching for a life vest, which I've done it before. But I try not to do it. I kind of try. Some comics will start like when stuff not going good, they'll start telling you like their credits. Like I've been on Jimmy Fallon and people laugh, and I'm like, yeah, but they're not laughing now. So what does Jimmy Fallon matter?
Have to do with that.
And I get it because I've wanted to say that many times. I'll be wanting to be like, what? You know who I am? But people don't care. They're like, it doesn't matter. You're not funny right now, and we paid, and it's Saturday night. So where does this leave us?
Yeah.
All right. No, that answers my question.
Yeah, I find that the mark of like a true professional stand-up comedian is even when it's not going good, if you were watching him and you remove the laughter aspect from it, it looks like he's doing good. Like he's not, just because he's not getting laughs, he doesn't, retrieve to all the tricks that you could do of like leaning against the wall, leaning on the mic, sitting down, all these signs that show like, oh, your set's not going good.
Yeah,
that's a pro is like, if you watch Chappelle on mute and he's bombing, which I've seen, you can't tell
because his mannerism.
He's just doing the same thing he would be doing when he was killing. There's no difference. Like it's just him, like being him, which I've seen it like before. It's just him being him. And as a comic, you're like, oh wow, this is a pro, because it's hard, bro. Like, but you're not gonna laugh. You just feel like an idiot,
bro.
Do either of you have like a really memorable bombing experience where you're like, it like took you a while to reset from it?
Like reset afterwards, like, or reset during?
Like mentally after. You're like, damn, I don't even know if this is for me, or like that was like really bad. What the hell?
Did you want to go?
I never had a set that made me reconsider my career choices, but I've had some rough ones, but I battled. The thing is, I have a high standard for like myself and what I consider to be like decent. So it's like some comedians thinking that when they think they killed, like to me, I would be like, to me, I'm like, if that were me, I would consider that bombing. I would not consider that killing. But everybody has different perspective, especially young comics, like new guys, they have beginner's ear, which is like, you've never been murdering hard enough for you to, like your top level is lower because you've never killed at the top level. So your highest level is just as high as you've killed before. And obviously as you grow as a comic, that continues to go higher. So sometimes this will happen where you'll have a show and people will honestly be like, it was good. Cause that happened over this weekend. I got like DMs about how much people enjoyed the show. But to me, I was like, that wasn't a good show because my level has gotten higher and higher because I know what like a murderous show is.
Okay. It's a great example.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't think he was bombing, because I haven't been to that many like live stand-up like shows.
Yeah.
So when he was doing that, in my head, I was like, is this just like part of his bit? Like,
yeah, no, I hate that too, because that's the thing too. As a comic, I feel like you have to have the awareness to know where like this might be the audience. This audience is top. Like it's not going bad. It's just this is the audience's top, and you're comparing how you did with a better audience than what this is. That's why I don't like pointing it out a lot of times, because sometimes you point it out and like you mentioned, the people in the audience was like, I thought this was good. That has happened to me watching comedy too, where the comedian keeps pointing it out and I'm like, this is going good, bro. Like, I don't understand why you keep...
They're just not crazy loud laughing.
I don't know why you keep bringing it about how bad it's going.
That's how I was feeling
like,
during
people
the
are
show.
laughing, it's fine.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
For me, I have two distinct like pinpoint moments of when it was like, man, I'm playing and I think that I'm doing my thing, and like the promoter's just like, hey, like the main guy's here. This is early in my career, like get off. But I didn't like take it away of like blaming the crowd, or like I just took it. I watched and I studied like, okay, like he's controlling the night. The other DJ, his name is DJ Big Reef, and this is like what 2010, like when I really started like trying to play in the city, and he was just crushing like. It's not even the song selection, but it's just like, that was the first time where I was with a professional. I was playing before a professional DJ, of like the mic control, the way he's mixing the songs, his volume, how he's setting up the list. I'm like, oh, okay, like there's levels. Like where I was at, I was cool because I was like my college, the college DJ, and did all of the college parties. So it was like easy because I'm just playing for my friends. So I know all of the songs that are gonna hit. I know all of like the throwbacks that I can reach to, right? Versus playing for strangers, adult strangers who are paying money, who pay the cover to come inside and are buying drinks, where there's a different level of professionalism. There's that. And then there was one time I was playing with DJ Big Ben, and I had to come on after him. And he's going crazy. He's basically playing every record. Like I'm already established. And like he's playing every record that I want to play, but in a way where it's called quick mixing, where he's not even playing like a full verse or something. He's just like playing the hook or playing the beat, and the crowd, like I see the energy of the crowd going up, up, up. And I come on afterwards, and like he basically burnt them out to the point where like I could have been playing like the biggest song of the time, and the crowd, the response, I couldn't get it. And then it's like he also played throwback records where it was just like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? And I had to just eat it and like be like, all right, now I have to do some more research and learn my records even more. Because it's one thing if you're playing like as an older guy and you're playing with a new DJ, then I know I can play the older music, right? And if you're playing with an older guy, then I could play like the newer music. But what do you do with a guy who plays everything at a high level? It's like,
how come some DJs have like, now I'm seeing that they'll have like 4 turntables?
Each one has a different song playing or like a different part of the song.
But why you need 4?
Because like you might be wanting to create a live remix on the spot. So like one deck will have the vocals, and then 2 decks will have like different drums and different mids, and then like you're creating remixes live on the spot. And then one could be having a sample.
I guess the EDM music
DJs,
DJs, they do that.
Yeah.
Yo, I've tried I've tried to see like what the thing is with EDM, but I just can't. Like,
you've never taken Molly.
I watch it, yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, you gotta break the seal.
Bro, I was watching, like I was literally watching it, and I'm just like, I just don't get it. And then like it's like a crowd of like 100,000 people, and they're loving it. And I'm like, I'm clearly wrong about this, but I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I
can't tell if it's like my brain chemistry is just different, or like, because I've been to EDM shows, I've partaken in what needs to happen to enjoy it, and like I'm like, this is just,
and it's not.
It just maybe not my top.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's weird because at the beginning of my college experience, like we were all listening to like pretty much like trap music, like 2016 at the time. And then we made this hard switch to EDM, and I was like, I do not want to like drink to this right now. Like,
there are some DJs that I've heard that are cool. Like there's some DJs that I think like Skrillex, he'll mix a lot of like hip hop and into the EDM. And then there's some DJs that have, I guess, like lyric, like Tiesto has lyric. I don't know if this is considered EDM.
Vocals.
No, yeah.
I don't even know. People are gonna be like, it's not EDM.
Yeah.
I just mean that kind of music. He has vocals and it has good songs.
Yeah.
There's a new documentary coming out about what's his name? I think Avicii.
Oh yeah.
Oh, who
on
died
Netflix.
or whatever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if is that considered EDM what he does?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He has some dope songs.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
talking about the DJs like who is just like and the crowd is like
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's almost like sushi. It's an acquired taste.
Hear
It's
that.
like you're either with it or you're not. There's no real in between. You
Bro,
know,
imagine
like,
doing this for 6 hours.
but people do it.
I know.
And it's like
And they dressed in rainbow colors. They
rainbow
got-
colors, but then these DJs are getting $80,000, bro.
I know.
80 to
but they do be
100,000.
rocking the crowd though.
They're
so they
rocking the
deserve it.
crowd, but
And they mixing on 4 things.
they're
That's
mixing
real.
on 4 things. But like, and this is one of those things. Big shout out to what's his name, DJ Quiz. He was just on a podcast and he was saying he's G-Eazy's DJ, right? And he's like,
I was at a party with G-Eazy.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Rockstar, like stadium.
No one knew. No one knew
Who
no,
you?
yeah, no,
You didn't tell him you was on the adulthood.
no one knew who he was.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was, no one knew who he was, which is so funny because I'm like, that's like the next day, it's like the people there, I was like, oh yeah, y'all didn't see G-Eazy? They was like, G-Eazy. And they was like, no, we didn't see him. I was like, he was on stage singing his song. And they was like, that was G-Eazy? I was like, yeah, that was him singing his song with the DJ. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And he was saying that like he's on tour, he's Jeezy's DJ, he's doing the stadium, he's doing the pre-show, he's doing the after show, 30,000 people, and he's rocking. But then he comes to a club in New York City and he's just like, he can't figure it out. He can't like make the crowd rock. He's the headliner. And I'm there and I come and I'm like, I feel like the special agent unit where it's just like, all right, now, let me come do my thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where like, you got these guys, they're paying for 100,000 people, but like they can't come and play in a club where it's like 500 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's the same in comedy, but I just don't like when it comes to art. If you went into any type of art, like I don't like the idea of like art is meant to be interpreted in different ways. Like there's no
Subjective.
universal thing. It don't matter if you just played for 250,000 people. You might not be able to come into a New York club and rock out. It's like that with comedy. There's comedians who are touring now doing arenas, theaters. They can't do a spot at the Comedy Cellar.
Beyonce's universal, son. Not just That's a universal thing.
So some people break through, but it's art. I mean, it's art. It's meant to be interpreted. Like it doesn't mean, obviously, I don't care how much theaters or arenas you do all over the world. Like for you to come into New York and like a place where I'm at every single night at the Comedy Cellar, it's gonna be tough for you just because you don't know how to play that room. And that's not to say you won't get there. You'll learn it because you're funny and talented most likely. But I'm just saying like that doesn't shock me at all. Like that happens all the time.
Do you feel like we're snobs? Like what is it? Because that's like I feel like every art form it stands true. Where it's like, yo, can you come in New York and do your thing for New Yorkers? Like what? Like
I mean, are New Yorkers snobs? Yes.
Are we snobs?
Yes.
But we also like everybody feels like their art isn't tested until they've tested it in New York. It doesn't matter what you're doing, from culinary arts to graffiti to comedy to music. So like, what is it about this region that like people hold as the standard?
But I'll throw it back to you and say there's the opposite too in comedy. There's the opposite where some comedians are like, oh, you can only play in New York. You can't play the rest of the country. You're just a New York act.
What'd you
You're
say?
doing bits about like the train and so you can't go to Minnesota. We don't have a train. We don't have a subway.
Yeah.
We don't understand masturbation in subways. So if that's what your act is about, they won't get it.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
so
That's
it
the
could be
yin-yang.
reversed. But I think, it's simple. It's just like New York is the capital really of like
The universe.
the world, I guess. Like not like, you go anywhere, everybody knows New York City, right? There's so much money here, there's so much culture here, there's so much diversity here. There's the best of everything.
All happening at once.
Even like other like stuff that you don't even think about that happens in New York. Like when you think acting, you think Los Angeles and Hollywood, but it's like your favorite actor or actress probably lives in New York.
Yeah.
They got a house in LA, probably house in New York. They live in New York. Your best doctors are in New York. Best lawyers are in New York.
But
The best musicians are in, like, it's just like across the board. Generally, the best people come to the city, and they're not from this city. I'm not claiming them like they're our own, but this is the arena for the major leagues of everything.
But I feel like a lot of inspiration comes from New York too, where it's like you meet the most distinct characters, like cab drivers, masturbators on the train. It's just like this is a pot where you can draw inspiration for any kind of character that you're playing on any movie or TV show.
I disagree. So I also met people, I know artists who New York is not for them.
That's
so
a fact.
Like they don't
That's a fact.
They don't thrive here.
That's
They
a
don't,
fact.
Like being on a crowded subway doesn't inspire them. They like having a front lawn and a backyard.
Yeah.
I also think as a music and comedy fan, it's like we're very impatient because there are a million things we could do with our free time and we all work really hard and move fast. So I think like, especially with like New York stand-up, I think it's very like audiences don't have a ton of tolerance to like let you get to your point. Like you kind of got to like announce yourself. And I think same with a lot of like DJ sets here. It's like, okay, what's your fucking hit? Like, are we going to like it or we're going to move on to the next bar because we've got a million other options? Whereas if you're someone who like takes a while to cook or your bit in comedy is like, it's a slow build. It just like might not be your type of crowd.
And to add to that point is I played in other cities outside of private events where I played in the clubs where like my style didn't translate to that city.
Yeah.
You know, like in Atlanta, I'm cooking, I'm trying to get to the hits real quick.
You probably got to play Yin Yang Twins.
No, it's funny. They didn't even like that.
They didn't like the Yin Yang Twins?
They didn't like the Yin Yang Twins. I'm thinking like I'm coming to play Future and Jeezy, but like.
Did you play Mystical?
No. Atlanta's his own wave. They all of the big Lil and Youngs that's hot now. When I was playing,
you could play Lil Jon in Atlanta.
Maybe one or two songs.
Outcast?
Turn Down for What rocks everywhere.
Maybe not the spots I was playing, bro.
Does it?
That
Turn Down for What? Have you ever, as a DJ, heard Turn Down for What come on and the crowd not enjoy it?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't loud enough.
Security
over.
would have pulled me off.
No.
The spot I was at.
I think that's like too poppy, right? Sometimes I feel like Turn Down for What is like too poppy.
Listen, you can't play Turn Down for What in the beginning of the night. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they'll feel like it's too poppy.
Yeah.
But after they got a couple drinks in them and the party is lit, you drop a Turn Down for What in the middle, and I can't see no one turning that down. I honestly, send us a call. Send us a message if you ever heard Turn Down for What after 12 midnight and it didn't work.
347-378-9423. Holla at us.
That's the phone number. Yeah, what's good, adulterers? I'm sorry to interrupt the episode, but just want to tell you, if you want to see me perform comedy live this weekend, I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm at Roar Comedy Club Friday and Saturday. Make sure you get your tickets. Next weekend, I'll be at the Tempe Improv from the 29th to the 1st. That's in Tempe, Arizona. December 12th through the 14th, I'll be headlining at the Punchline in Philadelphia. That is my last weekend on this tour before I film the special. My new special, I'm filming it on December 21st, and we just added a new show at 6 p.m. The 8 o'clock is almost sold out, so get tickets to the 6 p.m. or the 8 if they're still up there, ianlaralive.com. Thank you, guys.
Hey.
84 coming at you Sunday, November 17th.
Hey, guys.
Shout out to all the adulterers. Shout out to everybody.
Woo.
I was in Houston this weekend.
H-Town, what it do?
Punchline, and a couple people came up to me after the show telling me they were adulterers. So shout out to you guys.
That's fire.
For listening.
Shout out to Houston.
But yeah, I don't know. It's the I guess the trials and tribulations of artistry.
That's a book.
That's one of the things, like when you know, some people like hate their job. Oh, I work at an office, I'm in finance, you hate your job. It's like, I want to be an artist, but it's like artist is it's up and down.
It's very up and down.
It's not a straight path.
It's not.
First of all, financially, it's almost like, you're signing up to be homeless.
That's number one.
And then emotionally, the stuff you got to deal with. I be speaking to new comics. Sometimes they come up to me, they ask me for like any tips that I have. And this has happened to me a couple of times where the new comic will mention like how they're down in the trenches because they've auditioned like 2-3 times and haven't got it. And I'm like, 2-3 times? I'm like, oh, brother, sister, you're in for a long, long run of disappointment. If you think 2-3 times and you can't take it,
it's a lot.
You can't take that rejection. I mean, this industry will beat you down
to the ground.
I just had an audition for a movie with Bradley Cooper today.
Okay,
nice.
And I probably didn't get it, which is fine.
When did we start?
I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it.
I'm definitely the entourage.
I was gonna say I'm shell shocked. He's like my number one celebrity crush.
Oh, Bradley Cooper?
Oh my god!
I mean, I'll put in a word.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's still dating Gigi. Unfortunately,
Hadid. Any girl could walk in here right now and say I'm Gigi Hadid, and I would be like, oh nice to meet you. Cool. I don't know how no one looks like that.
Nobody.
I don't even know what's Bieber's wife, Bella?
Oh, Hailey Bieber.
She not a Hadid?
No.
Oh. See, I don't even know that.
But she's in that group of like
Hadid?
Supermodel Hadids. It's just a gaggle of models. It's a group of Hadids.
That's a funny thing because that's a thing that exists, like a gaggle of models. Like I've done some shows at this there's this hotel here in New York City that I forgot the name of it, but Leonardo DiCaprio is like part owner of it.
The Moxie? Roxy?
No, it's not those. It's in Midtown. I forgot the name of it, but they do shows there. They do stand-up comedy pop-up shows there. And he's actually never when I was there, but he be in the audience a lot.
Okay.
So when I agreed to it, they told me, they're like, yeah, sometimes Leo's like, he comes, this is his hotel. And not just him, it'll be like the whole pussy posse of like him, Tobey Maguire, that whole.
Can you say that in
pussy posse?
2024?
That was the name of their group.
That was the name of their group.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. That was the name of their group in the 90s in Los Angeles. They used to just be with, all the girls over there.
Like basically
self-proclaimed, like that's what they would call themselves.
Leo doesn't even speak aside from his movie. Have you ever heard Leonardo DiCaprio speak aside from
one word?
So he is under lock.
He doesn't say nothing.
Not one word. Not one word. He's never been on no podcast. Nope.
He speaks
nothing.
through yachts and models. That's how he sends a
and
message.
climate change.
I was about to say
climate change.
talks
Yeah.
climate
I
change.
feel like climate change.
I feel like he's really Jordan Belfort. Like I feel like that was also his actual life too. What was it? What's the movie?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. That was really Leo. He was just like, I'm playing myself.
I like that movie. It's one of my big movies. But at the show, but obviously they know, like, models just be knowing where men with money are. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be controversial, but they have a knack for that.
There's a network.
They know where the money is.
There's
like
an app.
you very rarely see beautiful models at a place where there's no money. Which you would think they would have make a mistake and end up, around me, but they don't.
They're never at Kennedy.
They never know that you don't see them. You don't see them.
That's true.
So at the hotel is like a thing, but so it's a terrible show. But in the audience, it's just gaggles of models. So like on the left, it'll be like a pocket of like Russian models, and then over here we got a couple Ukrainian models, and over here we got the Hispanic from Spain, the Spain model, and even Hispanic from Spain model, And they're just terrible people to perform for. No. They're trying to get shows by Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm like, honey, you're 25. You're too old.
Literally. If you're 25 and a half, your time's up.
Pack it up. What are you doing? Go start a family.
Literally.
Aged
They're
out.
disgusting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But performing for them, no. They just talk about, like, I mean, they're they just, generally speaking, not all models, obviously, but like these ones that are looking for like nightlife events, that's a specific type of model that's like looking for action and sitting silent at a comedy show in the dark. That doesn't feed to their like need for like attention.
Because they have to be seen.
Yeah, they want to be seen. They're like, why is it dark? Turn on the lights.
Turn the lights on, please. Yeah, that's true.
So I've done it like a couple times, and it's just been bad, like all the time, bad. Like it's just beautiful women.
Not laughing.
Not even not laughing, just kind of talking to themselves.
Oh, damn.
Kind of talking to themselves. Like they'll just like you'll be like, yeah, I was at the, In and Out last week. And they're like, oh, goes In and Out. And
in Milan, we went to In and Out in Milan.
It was the In and Out. And we was like, not today. I don't eat fried food. Or whatever. I don't know how models talk, but y'all know.
There's definitely an accent involved, though, for
sure. Know what I'm
sure.
talking about.
Yeah.
Johan, you said you had a voicemail?
Yeah.
Hey, Adulthood Podcast. This one's about the latest episode. First off, I wanted to acknowledge the politics conversation because, it is the Adulthood Podcast, so we can't, just pretend like that just didn't happen, and how dense folks can be, and the division element that Ian was talking about, that was really neat. Because, the tactic is to keep us divided rather than, try to just be, non-judgmental and not have hate. With that, the Friendsgiving conversation, what's your take on a host that invites people over and it's not a potluck style? So I'm being very specific here. If you are the host, what do you provide? The main dish and, the sides, and just have people bring wine and desserts? Because one of our girlfriends did that a while ago, and everybody else on the side was like, you're a horrible host. I'm Puerto Rican, so my family, we provide everything. You just show up. If you want to bring extra, good. But you don't show up, you don't do a hosting event and not have all the food. So she treated the hosting event as a potluck. What's your take on this adulthood?
Thank you for calling. I thought I was going to get yelled at.
I know.
For the politics.
And
it started a very different way.
Yeah, I like
first
it.
of all, I got to talk to you about the politics.
Like,
whoa. You said it was good.
Thank you.
First of all, there's a lot to unpack here. I know people like this. And I don't mind if you're going to do a Friendsgiving, obviously we're all, we're most of us in our 30s, 40s, maybe late 20s or 20, whatever. We're not at the age yet, I believe, where like, most of us, for at least some of us might be, where most of us are providing like a Friendsgiving where we provide everything,
the full spread,
because that's more. I feel like that takes age and wisdom,
wisdom, and also that means that's 2 Thanksgivings then.
Yeah, or it doesn't. I guess it doesn't have to be a Friendsgiving in her sense. It could just be like a dinner, like if you're hosting a dinner thing.
All right,
I don't mind a potluck thing. If you're gonna do it, I don't mind a potluck.
Yeah.
Thing. I personally, I'm not doing a potluck.
So you're not having people bring anything?
No.
Because dietary restrictions?
I don't trust what you're going to bring.
Exactly. Very good. Especially at this age.
Right.
There's not enough wisdom in those dishes.
You could bring stuff. I want you to bring stuff. But I'm not dependent on you because I think the worst dish that I'll provide is better than the specialty that you're
gonna bring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if if our friendship or our friend relationship has never like involved you preparing a food or dish. Like I've never seen you in the kitchen. I don't know what kind of spices you use, what kind of oil you use, your preparation. Do you wash your hands when you're in the kitchen? Like that's where my brain goes.
I don't even care if you wash your hands or not. I don't.
That's where my brain goes. Yeah.
How does the food taste?
Like how does the food
You
taste?
could not wash your hands if the food is slamming. And I'm not gonna say nothing about it because it's don't ask, don't tell.
Okay.
I don't see how you made it, whatever. It tastes good. That's what's important. But I will say this. I'm not like the best cook. So it's like if I'm going to host an event, I'm either going to hire a cook because I've done this.
Yes.
I've hosted an event. I hire a cook.
Cater.
Wow.
Yeah, hired a chef to come and cater the food. That's nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So I've done that. But
HBO Max.
I think that if you're going to have people over, you got to make sure... you got to have options too. I'm an options guy.
You definitely have to have options.
You can't invite me over for, pizza. And I love pizza. But what if I want a burger?
So that's a very good question. But my question is to her is, are you talking about Friendsgiving specifically, or are you talking about a hosting event specifically?
Well, she said Friendsgiving in the voicemail.
But you're saying, because I think from a hosting, like if I'm hosting, hey, I'm having a dinner party, I want you to come, bring your significant other or something. If you're hosting something, you have to provide the whole spread. I think that's we got to be very clear on that. On Friendsgiving, I thought, and I don't know what the general rules are for Friendsgiving, but I thought it's because either, you got people who are in a different city and they don't have family or something, or you want to get together with your friends before you go away to your family, where it's like, it's a pre-Thanksgiving. It's not the full Thanksgiving. So like, technically, you're not supposed to have the full spread, are you? I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't think for a Friendsgiving, depending on the amount of people that come, I don't think you need a Thanksgiving style spread.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the point of Friendsgiving is like, I think potluck is totally appropriate.
I think potluck is totally appropriate. Okay. Yeah, I think, look, sure, if you want to get all your friends together and show them how much better you're doing than all of them, and you want to host and provide all the things, that's also nice too. I enjoy that.
Go for it.
Hire a chef.
I enjoy that. Yeah, I'll bring you to my house. I'll hire a chef and have you show you how successful I am.
Basically.
That's nice too. And I think your friends even enjoy that.
They love that.
Because they leave and they're like, wow, Ian's doing way better than us, but like at least he gave us food.
And you could brag to your friends like, Ian's going crazy. He had the whole thing, lobsters.
So I don't mind that. She was Puerto Rican, and I'll say this as somebody who comes from a Dominican family. I think if you come from like a Hispanic family or I think minorities have this a lot, where you can invite a group of friends all over to make a certain dish. And it'll be one dish, like that's the event. For example, like they make we'll make a rabo, which is basically oxtail. So you can hit up all your Hispanic friends and be like, yo, I'm making an oxtail. And everyone comes knowing that the dish is gonna be oxtail. So you have oxtail, white rice or rice and peas, and that's the meal. Like, so it doesn't have to be a lot of things. You could make a soup. They make a big soup. Dominicans make sancocho, it's a big soup. You invite over, say, I'm making a soup. I'm making a pernil, which is pork. And then people come over for that. So that eliminates the need to have a bunch of different, like, when it comes to American food, I feel like you need a lot of options.
You definitely do.
But if you get in specific and you and you want to have a specific thing, you can make one dish and people get excited for that one dish.
I like that. That's adulthood wisdom right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. I just came like to the conclusion we should do an oxtail battle.
Oxtail is weirdly expensive.
It's
Really?
highly expensive.
I mean, it's literally, I think, the tail of the pig.
No, it's the pig.
Of the cow. The cow. So, I mean, they're not that long, so I get it. And I guess they're not that many cows. I mean, they are, but not enough where oxtail could be cheap.
Abundant.
Yeah.
But
that jacket reminds me of oxtail.
It definitely does. She's giving me what did I say? Not cons. What's the other one?
Sundance.
Very Sundance vibes.
My
like,
God.
you gotta be in the mountain, right? You know.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but I was thinking Dominican oxtail versus Jamaican oxtail.
It's not that different.
It's
Jamaican's
not.
a little more spicier.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
I think
They're
we
both
should
good.
We should do an oxtail brunch.
I like, you know what I like? I like to have the best food of different
Countries.
different like
for sure.
ethnicities and
For
stuff.
sure.
Like, give me your best food. I want that.
Sure.
Damn.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That would be a really fun dinner party. Like, bring me the best that your heritage has to offer.
But here's the problem. Like, if I'm fairly well traveled, so you're gonna bring me to my house. I'm gonna invite you to my house, and you're gonna be like, oh, you know, I'm from the Middle East, and I made this shawarma, and I'm gonna taste it, and I'm gonna be like, well, I've been to the Middle East, and this is garbage.
That's what
Garbage that you brought into my house.
this sounds like a show.
Right. So take this,
Brian.
pack it up, throw it out, and leave my house.
Brian, hello.
Just you two at a judge's table, judging other cultures.
With the best, because we've been traveling. He's traveled. He got
So
passport.
that's the risk. But if you're confident, I don't want people experimenting at my.
No.
Like, I want you to come with your confident dishes.
Yeah.
You can't miss dishes.
You can't miss.
By what age should you have a signature dish?
That's a great question. That is a great
Fantastic question. Straight out of Sundance.
Yeah, I would say.
Ooh.
I think.
Do you have a dish? Do you have a go-to dish
that I could make?
Yeah, like this is my go-to. If not, because that adds to the question. Because I think by 42.
Whoa.
42.
I'll be dead by 42. I'm talking like 28.
28? You need to have a dish by 28?
28. Yeah.
I'm late?
Yeah.
Damn.
At 28, you should have something you
This
make.
is my signature.
Or a small arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you need
Years.
like a top 5?
No. You gotta have something, I think, that you bring. But honestly, I feel like it don't gotta be something you make. Like, you just gotta be known for something that you bring that's good. But it don't gotta be made. Like, maybe you got a fire pizzeria by your house.
Oh,
And
okay.
every time you come through, everyone's like, we gonna get some Joe's Pizza because Ian's coming.
Okay,
And then you show up with the pizza and they're like, yo.
So that's your signature.
Come in. Yeah,
Okay,
you're the person who lives around the pizzeria.
Okay.
I think once you get into your 30s, it's nice to have something you make.
You make.
I love that. Okay.
It's a progression, it's a scale.
Yeah.
I
What do you
respect
think?
that.
I completely agree with you. Like, I'm even having, my friends are like, late 20s. And for this Friendsgiving, I'm like blown away by how many people like don't have their shit together. I'm like, you don't have a side.
What's yours? What's your go-to?
She's a cooker. Remember, she makes the peach
Well,
cobbler.
I'm so glad you asked. I'm actually,
That's right.
so somebody in our group who took dessert, and I was like, I'm going to text a few people on the side. And sure enough, I found out he's making berries with whipped cream. So I was like, I'm going to take over dessert. That's what I'm saying. Assembling. Yeah.
And what is that?
What is that?
Putting on a plate. I think it's berries and
This
whipped
is my problem with the whites. I feel like
He's Japanese, to be fair.
don't even get me started. No, the Japanese, those are my favorite people. I'm a big fan of the Japanese.
Konnichiwa.
They're the most respectful. He doesn't sound Japanese.
He doesn't sound
He's
Japanese.
half Jewish, half Japanese.
Oh, there you go.
Aren't you 1%?
Yeah, 1% Jewish. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you've
They
got
took it
free
away,
reign.
but then they gave it back.
I gave it back.
I think they're looking for support.
They said you can come on in. Yeah.
They brought me back. I got updated.
Okay, you got a special out.
No. You know what? The funny thing is, like, I've been working with Jewish people since I was like 14, 15 years old. Like, my first few jobs were all with like Jewish families who kind of like brought me in. So I've always like, I felt like I've been very Jewish adjacent.
Honorary.
Yeah, to the
Like
I'm here for it.
to the family.
What is it like when you get the honorary degree from the school?
Exactly.
Honorary Jewish.
Honorary
I went to
Jews.
Israel. I toured in Israel.
Wow.
I spent 2 weeks in Israel.
Boom.
But let me move on before people start DMing me and message me, calling me a warmonger. Let me just continue.
That's the clip.
To go back to adulthood tips. But the Japanese guy, that doesn't sound like
What is this? Berries and cream? But
I think it's literally he's buying berries and putting whipped cream on top. So I stepped in. I'm making these like pumpkin butter cinnamon rolls with an espresso cream cheese frosting.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that, but it sounds good.
What?
I need some.
No, I don't need
I
cream
need
cheese.
some.
I don't need cheese.
Okay, then I'm making like a mushroom herb stuffing.
Okay.
So not crazy, but
What
like,
are you
A
bringing?
mushroom? You ever had this?
No, that's what I'm saying. What are you bringing to?
I mean, it sounds good. I will have that.
Like you
What are you
stuff the
bringing to the
mushroom?
pod?
No, like I'm making it's like like traditional stuffing, but like the take is you put like a bunch of like mushrooms, Gruyere, cheese, sage, thyme.
This is my problem with people. Why do
Everything is
people
cheese.
feel like they need to put cheese in everything?
Cause it's delicious.
Come
Everything
on,
is
no, this
cheese.
is unfair. No one's talking about this. This really,
let's bring
this
this
really
up.
gets me going.
This
No one's
messes
talking
up
about this.
his
You can't
G-
just put cheese in everything.
Everybody's GI isn't the same.
This is unfair, and I'm not lactose intolerant.
That's the crazy part.
Somebody put that in the comments.
I'm
one
not.
time,
I'm not.
What's that?
I drink milk. I eat pizza. I'm not lactose intolerant. Cheese doesn't. But like, if you like cheese, that's fine. But you can't bring. It's not a universal. It's not universal. People keep trying to make cheese universal, and it's not.
You can't force the cheese on everybody.
Wow.
I'm lactose, but I make calculated decisions, calculated risk.
Rice is universal. Like rice is universal. You can make a rice and everyone would eat the rice, or they're like, I'm off carbs and they're annoying, and then you whatever.
But that's their own thing.
But that's their own personal thing. But cheese is not universal. One, there's people like me who just don't like it. Like, I don't think it's good. And then two, there's people that literally can't eat it because of a medical condition.
and then there's a lot of people who think it's delicious.
I know, but you guys don't run the world.
Technically, they do.
You're
No,
right.
they don't.
They put cheese in
I don't
everything.
like this.
But we got a vegetarian in the group, so I was like, we got to make every side fun because we're like not doing a meat dish.
No, I mean, if you're a vegetarian, you're not invited to my thing. Because
well, she's hosting.
I just...
That's so
You think I'm gonna
selfish.
go, you think I'm gonna take a night off to go to a vegetarian's house?
That's what I'm saying. And she's dating the guy who's doing the berries and cream.
Oh, this is-
they
this is
just have the
a
nicest
disaster.
apartment.
setting you up. They're setting
Well,
you
I guess
up.
if you have a nice apartment, then I mean that's your thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she like, no, don't bring no meat to my house?
She didn't say it, but we were like,
But she
we're not
implied
going
it?
to
She
go
leaning-
in.
It's implied. It's like you're
Well,
hosting, you're vegetarian.
I
People are
said,
gonna
why don't we just
wanna
pick up a box of
accommodate
Popeyes for those of us who want to indulge?
Whoa.
But nobody, like, I don't need to be doing a turkey for Friendsgiving.
You know they have a fried turkey at Popeyes too.
You got to pre-order that though. You can't just
Dude,
walk in
you gotta,
and get it.
You got to
Pick you
call
up.
like today, like you. So we got to get the
That's
plan
stressful.
going.
Yeah.
Hold on. Are you gonna with this peach cobbler? I'm a dessert guy. What are you bringing to the adulthood pod? I got to stay on track.
Do you want the peach cobbler? That's the problem.
Absolutely.
No,
Okay.
the cinnamon rolls sound better.
I'm not a
But
big
you're not a
dessert guy.
dessert
I'd rather
guy.
you bring the Popeyes.
Okay. Wow.
both.
Bring Popeyes.
We do
And,
our own.
Give me a
I don't
genre
trust
and I'll
you.
make it.
I don't trust you. I feel like you're gonna put cheese in the pizza.
Give me a chance to earn your trust. Give me a chance.
No, I feel like you're gonna
Cheese
give
in the cobbler.
You seem like one of these people. You ever met these people? They'll make the thing, they'll have you eat it, and they'll be like, "You enjoyed it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was good." Well, there was cheese in it. I'm like,
No.
"What- who's this for? You trying to
No.
trick me into eating something I don't like?
I love
I
doing
admit
that.
cheese could be good. I love pizza. Pizza's one of my favorite dishes.
So
New
you do
York
like
pizza
cheese.
only though, but it's one of my favorite dishes. I like pizza, but I just don't think cheese tastes good on other things.
Now let me ask you this, because you say you love New York
Please.
pizza.
Please.
If somebody's gonna show up and like be like, I brought Domino's or Papa John's, are you
I don't
like,
hang out with these type of people.
You can't.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
the
that's
scenario you're painting, I don't even know anyone who would order Domino's.
but I'm saying
No,
when you
you
travel the country and somebody's like, oh,
around
we
the
got a
country?
pizza.
Around the country? Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, around the car, I was in Asia. I ate
think-
camel.
but it also-
that doesn't mean that I'm ordering that in New York.
It depends on your stage too, because at the same time too, you know, between 20 and 25, everybody's pockets is different. So like that Domino's hit, especially depending on the time of the night.
In New York, you can't order Domino's.
You can't. Unless it's the only thing that's open.
Maybe like a 2 a.m. This is
in
a
the morning.
last minute. I mean,
Last
this is
minute
like a
resort.
last
There's
ditch.
nothing else open.
This is a last
This
ditch
is
effort.
nothing is open. I'm going, like 2 a.m. because I've been there before.
I went to a dinner party before where they were making where they had like a pizza oven and everyone made their own pizza. That was
I've
fun.
seen-
That's fun
Yeah,
as
I've seen
hell.
that. I've
And
seen
low
that.
key cheap.
And
I've
they had
seen
they had like a pizza guy. Like I don't know if he was a pizza guy, but he was Italian. So we was listening to him. So
I
you
feel
know,
like
we just was listening to what he said, and then we made the pizza, and that's it.
I feel like Italians are like the only universal cultural appropriation nationality. Like every culture can like try to do the Italian accent or do some type of mannerism, and it's just like
No, there's other ones.
universally accepted.
Yeah, you could do Jamaican.
Okay.
Everybody
I can't do Jamaican.
You could do Jamaican.
Yeah, man.
You could do
okay.
that.
Okay. All right.
You could do that. That's fine. I've
literally-
spoke about this before
Okay.
openly. I have a TED talk about it.
Do you?
There's certain ones you could do.
It's universally acceptable.
You could do Jamaican. You could do Mexican. Mexican is fine. You could do it. Like you never went to, I don't know, where do you get your Mexican food? Taco Bell, probably. And you never went in, you're like, those tacos, por favor. Like that's doing Mexican. That's appropriate.
I mean, LeBron James was literally doing his Taco
It's
Tuesday.
Taco
bit.
And a sombrero with a Mexican kilt.
Yeah.
So
That's how you do
universal.
Mexican.
Universal. Okay.
I think Italian is one of the few because I spoke about this before. I think there's not a lot of, you can't do Asian.
You can't do Asian.
Asians out.
Out.
Yeah.
Don't even think about
And
it.
it all of Asia.
Yeah, I mean,
East, West, South.
you might, treading lightly, you might could get an Indian in, but not really.
No.
Not really.
No,
Indian
they're-
is no good.
no good.
Canceled.
Yep.
Chinese, forget about it. I don't even like saying Chinese because I feel like I get canceled.
Exactly.
The Japanese, they don't bother people. People don't know a lot about the Japanese. They're kind of private people.
They went low key. I mean, think about what happened. It's like, you know
Yeah.
what? We're not messing with the rest
and
of
they
the
make
world.
sushi, and they
Yeah.
just have sushi.
And
like,
samurai.
you could bow. I think
Yeah.
that's like probably the most thing you could do.
Everybody loves Kyoto for sure.
But Jamaican is like the main one. That you
Yeah,
could do.
man. Yeah, that's true.
Objectively,
Okay.
one of the best accents in the world.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
the craziest thing is in my nerd time. So like during COVID, when I would have deep journeys with the plant, I would also watch YouTube videos of like accents and how they like originated. And did you know that the Jamaican accent has some Irish in it?
Wow.
Oh, very fascinating.
Yes.
You learn something new every day.
Here you go, Adulthood Pod. I'll send you the video. Just-
You could do Hispanic generally. You could do Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban. You could do that. That's
that's
fine.
universally accepted.
Yeah, that's accepted. You're
Yeah.
not gonna get canceled for those.
Unless you're
I think any country in the Caribbean is
it's pretty much
fair game.
Is that because a lot of people go to vacation there?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
that has to do with it, and they're
Okay.
trying to like be of the culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only one that's pretty out is you could do British. Yeah, that's one of the
British.
most acceptable
But
ones.
they
You can make
hate
fun
it
of British
so-
people every day,
They hate it so much.
and no one will say nothing.
Spartay.
Australia.
Australian is basically British.
But you can't. A lot of people can't get it
Yeah.
down under.
I'm trying to think what other countries in Europe. You could do French.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
French.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah,
cares.
that's universal.
And then Italian. Italian is fun.
Italian's
Yeah.
fun.
It's like with your hands, it's loud.
It's-
Yeah.
boisterous.
That's a fun one.
But then there's also like there's New York Italian and Italian too.
Yeah, well, New York Italian is very Sicilian.
That's what it is.
Totally.
That's what they're big. Yeah, it's
But
Sicilian.
it is-
and from Naples. It's like the south of Italy. I
Okay,
heard.
but it's
Yeah.
also
It's different than
it's
the
a lot of who do you think you are? It's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
that, right?
That's not. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that. The way you said it, I think a couple people got
It
uncomfortable.
sounded like a slur.
Yeah, it sounded a little slurry. But no, yeah. I definitely don't think I was at a dinner party one time, and this is why, like, sometimes I feel like as you age, you try to do grown up things, but you got to make sure that your friends and your environment is grown up. I was at a dinner party one time, and my friend like ended up like hooking up with some girl that was at the party in the middle of like the dinner party. Like it wasn't like we had dinner. And then we were like just chilling, and then my friend just like went over to like a room to like hook up
Like this kind of hookup.
with like,
Like
yeah.
your
Which
college
I'm like,
roommate?
I'm like, guys, we're in our 30s. Like, why y'all?
That's
Yeah.
Y'all couldn't just exchange numbers and do this later?
You know, Uber
Like we're 30.
exists.
First of all, who's getting horny right after turkey?
At a
Oh,
dinner party?
Right after turkey? You hard? Come on, bro.
What did you take?
That's the club.
That's wild.
Is that only acceptable like a bachelor and bachelorette parties then?
I don't think it's ever.
I don't think it's
No?
really not acceptable.
I mean, I went to one of my homies' bachelor parties. Like him and his wife did a joint like party or like
Horrible.
away.
And somebody
That's
hooked up.
weird.
I think
Horrible idea.
you mean
One of the
look,
groomsmen
They're headed for
I mean,
divorce.
and
I mean,
the
look,
bridesmaid.
yeah, like we all went to Vegas together, but
Terrible.
like, you know,
It's not terrible for, I'll tell you this. It ain't terrible for the boys.
that's what I'm saying.
And it ain't terrible for the girls who are going with the girls, because now you have like you have this hookup potential
Right.
in Vegas, which that's nice. But for the husband and wife, I feel like, what are you having a freak off?
Yeah.
Well, we spent nights like they did something like a couple nights alone, and then we did stuff.
Yeah, but
nights
we're
alone,
still in the same city.
Yeah.
If I get arrested and end up on the news, you're gonna hear about it.
True, very true.
I need somewhere where if local news report what happened, it won't get to you.
It's still local.
It would need to be national news for my fiance to find out.
Absolutely.
Very true. But yeah, I mean, like, I ended up hooking up with one of her friends. Like, that's not
Oh, it
acceptable.
was you.
Yeah.
So
You're the
you're the
guy.
one you're the one.
Yeah.
You
He's
have
like,
no
is that not
morals.
acceptable?
That's very acceptable.
Oh.
Just
Okay.
not in the middle of a group dinner.
Yeah,
do it
not
Yeah.
in
That's what I
the
was like-
bathroom during dinner.
Where'd,
like, it's-
where'd
Did you take it to the room?
The hotel.
Like later on when you were
Yeah.
away from
Yeah. This is
Oh,
this is like
that's
later
fine.
on.
We're
Yeah.
talking
yeah.
about in the middle of like I'm eating some peach cobbler, and it's just like, hold
How did it
on.
happen? Were you guys like flirting? Like throughout
It was
the night?
kind of, I don't know, it was kind of implied, like from the get go. It was kind of weird.
well.
Okay, was it
Like you
Riz?
guys were like matched up to walk down the aisle together or something?
No, it was just kind of like my brother was there. His girlfriend was there. Like one of the other girls had a boyfriend. Like
So you were the
two
only
other.
single people.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure that
Did
implies.
you
not
tell her
sex.
you were the Adulthood podcast producer, like sound producer? That's
Just-
what it was.
Well, there
Just to
was
be
like
clear.
there was like two other guys that were single too. But
So she chose you. You got chosen.
I mean,
Just to be clear, hold on. To the adulterers, we are no way endorsing implied sex because you are the
At
two
all.
single people at a party.
At
Does
all.
not. You should ask her if she
Consent-
wants to have sex.
consent is
Don't
the
move
number
forward
one, 2,
assuming
and
that
3.
she's in it. into
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
All right.
We
Cool.
are all about consent here.
it was consensual. I mean, obviously, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was just kind of like the vibe, I guess.
What
I
they
don't know.
call it, Riz? It's like the
Was she-
dude in
was
the
she was she
ambulance.
Yeah, she was attractive.
Did she look
She's
pretty?
attractive. Yeah. What?
Do you think? Did you guys think after that it would be something else?
Personally, I don't because
No,
I mean we hung out afterwards too. Like when I would go back to Arizona, we
What about
hung
the
out a
wedding?
couple
Did you
more
hook up
times.
at the wedding?
So funny enough, like we were talking at the end of the wedding, and like I was pretty fucked up at the end, but like we were talking before I left, and she snuck in for a kiss in front of everybody.
What?
Yeah,
How dare you? You didn't call the police?
Bro.
because we were leaving. We were
A
leaving.
kiss on the mouth?
A mouth kiss?
I honestly don't remember.
A
I
mouth
think she
kiss
might.
is
I think she
crazy.
might. I think she might have went on the cheek. I
Oh,
don't
a cheek
know.
is
Oh, a
fine.
cheek
You're-
is
you're
fine.
I think
Hispanic.
you guys are
Yeah.
Maybe.
like it's the end of the night.
But
Anything
here's my
goes.
thing. And you bring up a great comment, a great point of like, have
I
you
was
ever
pretty
been
messed up.
wifed up for the weekend? Like, have you ever had like the weekend relationship?
Have I ever had that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's my middle name.
Oh, Ian.
It's Ian Weekend Relationship Lara.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it's great. It's nice. It's fun. You don't
Yeah.
you don't fight and
But like, because that happens when you start holding hands and stuff. It's just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
When did we just get in a
And it's
relationship?
like see you never.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And then Sunday at 7 p.m. the flight's coming. It's like, hey, so I
we
have
should
your-
follow each
I have-
other.
no. This
What's your
for me.
name?
It was,
Yeah.
What's
I have
your name is
Facebook.
crazy.
I have you on Facebook. Yeah,
We'll never talk again.
ever.
what'd you say your name was?
You dirty dog.
I hooked up at a wedding before.
How was it?
It was a long time coming. It was
That's awesome.
yeah,
Anticipation?
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Because it was friends of friends, or why was
Yeah. It was we was in the same group for like a long time. And then we flirted about it for like years, and then never happened. And then at the wedding, it happened.
why didn't it happen before the wedding? If you guys have been like,
Cause we were both. I mean, this was a while ago. This is a long time ago. But we were both like very aloof about it. Like we were like
we
I'm
just
the-
flirt when we see each other.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person like I'll flirt, like I'll have flirty banter, but like that don't mean that I'm like gonna make a move. Like I won't, like it'll just be like flirty banter like when we see each other, and that's it. And then we go our separate ways, and I'm not like following up on the flirty, like, hey,
Gotcha.
you told me I was cute at the party, so does this mean I'm not that guy. Like I'm a guy that you can see me and flirt and nothing's gonna happen, and then you go on your way and I go on my way.
Copy.
And we did that for years. And then I felt like leading up to the wedding.
Flirt no more.
Yeah, leading up to the wedding, like the flirting got more like
intense.
Yeah, like
escalated,
a bubbling point. And
that's fun.
I think our friends kind of
instigated.
Because our friends was just like,
when is this gonna happen?
It. Like, what are you guys?
You guys are stupid.
What else are we doing?
Yeah. They were like, do it.
That sounds.
Did you guys hook up ever after?
No.
That sounds like a great rom-com.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds super fun.
We gotta write this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Again, this was the older days. The older days. I think she's now
married with children.
My target isn't a friend of friend at a wedding. It's like, who's the good looking cousin of like the bride or the groom who's like single? Because I'm like,
me.
What?
That's me.
I don't think we're ever going to be at a wedding together.
No,
yeah.
But at the wedding, like you're like a person. You're like that. What you just described is a person at every wedding,
right?
Like that's a person who are, and I'm the guy you described.
Yeah, this single good-looking cousin who's like, oh, I'm just here with family.
But,
yeah,
right. And I'm also like, I'll wear like a nice suit to your wedding. I'm a dancer. Like no matter what music is playing, I'm on the dance floor dancing. Yeah, I'm at the bar like shots.
People know who you are at the event. Like you can gain clout at a wedding reception very quickly.
Facilitating the fun.
One of my friends, when she got married, she wanted me to like make a speech at the wedding. Like I had to like make like a speech, and you make a speech, you make people laugh. Everyone's like, who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
And it's just your wedding.
And then then it just becomes my wedding. I put on a white tux. I kind of took over.
You have it in the back.
Yeah. Also, that other wedding that I'm talking about, the one back in the day, the girl who was getting married kind of wingman me big time.
Then you're just doing a favor for the bride. Yeah, you're like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. She was kind of like
she set you up.
She was kind of like, you should just hook up with Ian.
I don't even think
Ian's great, and it's my wedding night. Like, do it for me.
What else are you guys doing? Going back to your own room?
Right. And I was just like, she's asking for.
Is there a possibility that there's a bigger wingman than the bride? There's no way. No. Like that's automatic.
Yeah.
If you're at a wedding and the bride respectfully to sleep with somebody who's at her wedding, you kind of have to.
If you don't oblige,
you kind of got to do it, or you're not like. You're not.
Shout out to the bride.
You're not being a good friend.
What?
I think that's what happened with my friends, with my friend's wife. Yeah,
women, man.
She put me on.
Changing the game.
The bride told you.
Told her. Yeah.
To hook up with you.
Yeah. Brides.
Shout out to these angels.
Shout out to the brides.
These angel wives that are going into their first marriage.
Facilitated.
And
still believe in love.
Yeah, helping out the little guy.
Facilitating. Yeah. She just wants good vibe.
I'll be clear though, when I get married, I don't want nobody hooking up at my wedding.
There you go.
No hookups.
Why?
I'm gonna lock away cell phones,
Groomzilla,
vaginas and penises.
Groomzilla over there.
None of it is out.
You might as well not have no alcohol.
Yeah.
Just have a dry wedding.
No.
Groomzilla over here.
No. Why don't you want anybody hooking up at your wedding?
I don't know. I'm selfish. I'm a selfish piece of shit.
Groomzilla. I can see it. Right? I can see it happening. Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, if I could have it my way, it's gonna be no singles at my wedding.
I was gonna say that.
If you don't have a girl or a man, you can't come. I don't need this energy at my wedding. And so I'm at the altar like, I wish I was Tariq.
No, that's number one. And number two, I was gonna say, like, once you get to a certain age, everybody there's not a lot of single people at the wedding. Everybody's coupled up or somebody's going through a divorce or something. So there's no room for the hookups. Yeah. That's the 25 to 30.
The 20s is the hookup.
The 20s is the hookup. So you got, you're good. But
you want hookups at your wedding?
Yeah. I'm like, I love an unlikely pairing.
But here's what happens. Then that becomes the story of your wedding.
I'm fine with that.
Are you?
Really?
Yeah.
I honestly don't even want to have a wedding, to be honest.
I've said the same thing, actually.
Yeah, let's just go to, City Hall. Let's do something nice. We go to like a Long John Silver.
There you go.
And then.
There you go.
That's it. We
extra tartar sauce. Right. Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah. I hear you. Same.
I just don't get a wedding. Like, I don't get what's happening.
You're spending a lot of money.
If you really break it down, it's like we're celebrating love. I get that. Yeah. But then if you look at what's happening, it's like, first of all, most weddings, I guess I'm nihilistic in this way. With most weddings, I'm like, this is gonna end in a divorce. This is crazy that we're doing this right here.
This shit's not gonna last, son.
I'm like, statistically, this won't last. Statistically, people who are here as a couple are gonna break up most likely. So I'm very you don't, when you go up to the groomsmen and whisper that into his ear, they don't like that. So I don't get a lot of wedding invites.
You kind of get in trouble for that. Yeah, you definitely get in trouble for that.
Doom and gloom guy.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely not around for the cake cutting for sure.
But look, I want I don't mind matches made at my wedding, but just don't fuck at my wedding. Cause I'm not gonna be fucking.
Wow.
That makes sense.
That's a rule I've also made.
It's so selfish. You're so selfish.
That's a rule. It's just one night. I can't ask my friends for one night.
Put it on the invite. You need to be celibate.
Yes, that's gonna be on the RSVP.
Man.
Celibacy required for the 48 hours of my wedding. Bro, because you don't want to be at the dinner table the next day with your wife or at the breakfast table with your wife and all your single friends coming up to you talking about the orgy they just
that
had.
happened last night.
And you're just like, I'm so happy I'm not part of this anymore.
Yeah, you're at the breakfast brunch the next day, like you're hearing all the stories.
Yeah,
and
you're like, well, I'm so happy I got the missus here with me. I don't need any type of more sex.
Yep.
And they're like, what you guys last night? Oh, we kind of knocked out. We were tired. It was a long day from the wedding.
Champagne.
And they're like, oh, you should have came back to the house with us because the freaks was freaking. And you're like, no, thank you. I'm good. I got my wife here who I love dearly.
And for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. And then you got to pretend her. You like, could you believe that? You believe that? It was 3 guys and 10 girls. And they all fucked each other? That's crazy. That's disgusting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you got to pretend. That's what I don't want. But I guess
you can't control.
Just no singles.
Yeah, that's it. That's how you
If you come to my wedding and you cheat, I'm telling your wife.
There you go. Establish the rules.
Yeah, those are the rules. I'm putting that on the RSVP.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here for it. As best man.
How do you? I don't know if I don't remember if we've talked about this, but how do you feel about like one of your boys in like your friend group who is like known in the friend group for cheating? Like
I don't have any friends like that.
Going in, like about to get married type shit.
I don't have any friends like that.
Well, how would you suggest someone approach it then?
If your friend is a piece of shit cheater?
Yeah.
What do you mean? As far as what?
Like we're just out, we'd be out at like festivals, concerts, and he's known to like, hook up with girls, but he's also planning on getting married.
I'm hard at hearing and hard at seeing. I didn't hear
Got
nothing.
it.
Like
I don't go to festivals.
Yeah, I really don't.
Well, like even just in general at the club, it could be at the club, it could be at a party.
I do private.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And in my answer, I'm showing you how you handle it.
All right. Okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where he went.
Got it.
I don't know where she went either.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I don't know.
I have no idea what happened.
First of all, this is none of my business. I'm a stand-up comedian. I shouldn't even be here. You guys got cheese all over this shit. I took a night off. I flew to Mexico. The food is trash.
Yep.
I have diarrhea. Like that's how you got to do it. You got to divert.
Yeah.
And make it about you. In case anyone starts asking you questions.
Explosive
Noted.
diarrhea.
Yeah.
All right.
You sold me on that.
See?
You took me somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Right. That's what you got to do.
I was like, wow, he's really upset.
Right. Yeah. Then it's like you're his wife. You're like, oh, I guess he didn't pack my husband didn't cheat on me.
And he didn't pack his Imodium.
Yeah.
His stomach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta pivot away.
All right.
Shout out to
Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest though, like I was half joking in that, but now that I think about it, I really don't have friends like that anymore. Like all of my friends, my close friends are like in their 30s and like about their partner.
Right.
Very true.
I mean, granted, they'll break up soon, but until then, they're all committed.
Also, I'm a firm believer with cheaters that like, what are you going to do? Tell his fiance something she probably already knows, / you telling her probably doesn't mean she'll leave. Well, I'm going to get canceled for that. But like also.
You'll get canceled for that?
Well, like, I don't know.
That's true.
But I think.
First of all, listen. Trump won. There's no more cancel.
This is Trump's country.
And I'll say whatever the hell.
Say whatever you want. It's free. We have a free pass.
But the only person responsible for dealing with cheating is the cheater himself. And no amount of you telling him it's wrong, like he knows it's wrong, he's still doing it. And you telling him probably just means he's going to continue doing it, but you're going to know less of it. It's up to him. If he wants to fuck up his relationship or not respect his relationship, you telling him you think it's trashy isn't going to change him.
I mean, no one tells him anything.
What about the flip side?
What?
Like the homegirl that does that. Like she's married with kids, but
that's disgusting.
But it happens. And she's on the bachelorette party and she's just like, woo, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. How do you handle that?
I don't like that. And I don't want that. I got like I got a couple boys that if I knew for a fact that their girl was cheating, I would tell them. I got like a couple of them. And the ones that I would tell is the ones that I know that like if I tell them that, they're not gonna question me thinking like I'm lying or making this up.
You're telling the truth.
Like if I come to you with that from them knowing me, they're gonna know like this is real.
This is happening.
He's not BSing. Because sometimes some girls you go tell your homegirl that she's getting cheated on and she thinks you want her man. Would you if you caught your best friend, you have a female best friend?
Yeah.
If you call her partner cheating, would you tell her?
Yeah, 100%. If it was a really good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was a medium friend, no?
I think I agree with your advice if it depends on like where my place is in the relationship and if like they're not going to take me seriously or whatever. But I err on the side of like I'll blow the whistle.
Okay.
But
are you holding it down if she's cheating?
No.
Wait, you're not telling him, are you?
What do you mean?
Like if what if she's just like,
if my best friend is cheating?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Hello, Adulthood Podcast. I'm here, and he's actually like a decent dude.
I actually have to think on that. I haven't been in that. I'm like thinking of my best friend in my head. I'm like, Jesus.
Wait, you would tell the guy that your best friend is cheating?
That's what I'm saying. I said no. I didn't understand the question at first. I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to think on it.
No. What do you have to think about? Why would you ever do that?
If you end up caring about their partner too.
Fuck their partner. Are you kidding me? Best friend.
What?
This is why I posed the question.
Is there more backstabbing shit to do than to do that?
This is why I posed the question.
This is why I blackmail all my friends. I'm like,
you're like Diddy.
Yeah, I have footage and video of them doing shit that if the authorities found out, they're going down. Jobs. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like you say anything about me, this is coming out. Yeah.
You got the black folder.
I'm like the mafia now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Right. All the adulterers, thank you guys for listening. We really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Give us a shout out. Give us some phone calls. We love when you guys call with your questions. Number 347-378-9423. Thank you. Later, guys. Woo.